PlayStation event is September 9th, Thursday. I'm very excited about it, and I started to think about all of the games that maybe we'll see, and maybe some games that I would like to see, some things from the past. And I came up with a huge list, and I realized that clearly all of these games would not be able to be there. Maybe none of them would be able to be there. And I wanted to break it down to say 5 games or 10 games. But then I figured, why not just break it down to one game? So the one game that I would love to see again is the Legacy of Kain series. Now, this is Blood Omen on the PlayStation 1. It was a top-down sort of Diablo-esque game. You're playing as Kain, and the story about that character and his clan, it is absolutely incredible and engrossing. And then Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 on the PlayStation 2, we got to 3D action adventure. Kain was incredible. Tons of great moves, lots of great combat. The story and the voice acting and the music was incredible in this series. And on the PlayStation 2, it was even better. And I think this one title skews so well to what Sony does incredibly well, and that's make great single-player, character-driven action adventures by building worlds and building characters. And I think Kain would be the most amazing character for PlayStation, a sort of rebirth of the series, if you will. And then I started to think about all of the games in the series, the combat, the voice acting, the setting, the sort of gothic undertones, the gothic horror. I don't think that we've seen many games like that, if at all, for a long time. And then I got to the one game that I thought in this sort of trilogy of games I would really love to see again, and that's Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. If you played this on the PlayStation 1, you're seeing Kain, and he is sort of worshipped as a god until one of his lieutenants, Raziel, surpasses him and evolves to become more powerful, more grandiose than him. And in a fit of rage, Kain decides to try and kill Raziel. And that's where the game begins. You're thrown, you're cast off a mountain into a lake of fire, and you're burnt alive. You come back, you're grotesque, you're warped. And your goal is to get through the world of Nosgoth and seek revenge against Kain. Now on the PlayStation 1, obviously this pushed the system, and the vision for this game was sort of a couple generations beyond what we had on the PlayStation 1, but it still worked well. It still pulled you in. And that's why the PlayStation 1 was such a revolutionary system. 3D, worlds, stories. There really hadn't been things like this. We really weren't transported to worlds like this, and they did the best they could to create this sort of huge open world Nosgoth for you to explore. There was lore, there were interesting characters, and again, the combat and just the way Raziel traversed through the world, the puzzle solving, everything is so good in this series. And I think this one game, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, would be so good for PlayStation 5. And if you don't think it would look good this generation, I found a fan-made game using Unreal Engine. Look at how good this looks compared to what I just showed you on the PlayStation 1. Does this not look like a PlayStation-centric game? Imagine the rebirth of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, or any of the other Legacy of Kain games before Soul Reaver, but this one in particular, the character and the world, the story, the amount of content that they can pull from this universe is so rich that I think it would be one of those huge moments at the show if it actually happened. Now, I don't think it will. This is just my own personal game that I would like to see Reborn at the show for the PlayStation 5. Let me know what game you would want to see Reborn for the PlayStation 5. Maybe not games that most people are thinking are going to be there, like Metal Gear or Silent Hill. Some obscure games that maybe you played all the way back on the PlayStation 1, and they don't have to be first party. Obviously, this wasn't a first party game. They could be first party, second party, third party. Let me know in the comment section below what you're most excited to see reborn for a new generation, if in fact Sony does that at this show. Think about sharing this video out. Think about subscribing to the channel. At the very least, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.